I'm Ira Miller. I'm going to be your host for Around the Villages. This is a YouTube channel dedicated specifically for all things villages here in the Villages, Florida. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to give you an overview of everything that the Villages is all about. And then in subsequent videos, I'm going to go ahead and detail all the amenities that the Villages has to offer. We're going to start here on Highway 42, which is the northernmost end of the Villages, and we're going to go all the way to Highway 44, which is the southernmost end of the Villages. So stay with me as we go on this journey, and I hope you come back and look at our other videos that we're going to have for the Villages. Okay, here at the northern end of the Villages, out here is Highway 42. And as I had mentioned, Highway 42 is the northernmost point of the Villages. Now, here on the northern end, you'll see that you have a very large strip mall with plenty of shopping. And not only that, but you have the Villages VA outpatient clinic on this end. So for you veterans, they have a very large facility for the VA. They also have their very own Villages healthcare system. And this is just one of the units that the Villages has. And these are all around the Villages for your convenience. So we'll give you an idea of what that is, and it's all under the United Healthcare plan. So we'll go more into that later for you, okay? So just wanted to show you all the conveniences of the north end. And as we're going to talk about all through the video, everything is golf cart accessible in the Villages. Okay, so here we are, the Village of Orange Blossom Gardens. This is where it all started. Harold Schwartz, the original developer, started the Villages as a manufactured home community called Orange Blossom Gardens. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you on a tour through this area. These are mostly manufactured homes, although there are some site-built homes in here. And I'm going to show you how this area developed and how it transformed from manufactured homes into site-built homes. Here we have the original recreation area for the Villages. And they started out with lawn bowling, bocce ball, and then beyond we're going to see some horseshoes and some softball. Paradise Rec Center, which is over in this area, that is the recreation center, and we'll take a brief tour on the outside. In a later video, we'll go ahead and look at all the recreation centers and see how they look inside. Okay, so here we have the Villages Horseshoe Club. And as we're going to learn in a separate video, there are many clubs in the Villages. That's just one of many. This is the original recreation center, Paradise Rec Center. And this is where it all started in the Villages. Mailbox Center. This is where villagers come to pick up their mail in this part of the Villages. Beyond, we're seeing pickleball, which in a separate video, I'm going to do a whole separate video just on recreation. So we'll come back to that later. All right, before we go look at homes, I wanted to show you the original country club that's here in the Villages. So this is Orange Blossom Hills. And this is the original pool. They just did a total renovation of this whole country club and swimming pool area. So they've replaced all the pavers. The whole pool's been redone. Underneath, you'll see there's a hot tub. And usually there's a waterfall running, but because it's just been completely renovated, it is still shut down. Okay, and across the street from the country club, you'll have a beautiful view. So again, this is the country club of Orange Blossom Gardens. And this is the first golf course in the Villages. The Villages does have its own airport van service. So if you are needing a ride from the airport to get to the Villages, feel free to call that telephone number. They'd be happy to pick you up right at the house or right at the airport and drop you off at the house. So like I said, there are a few site-built homes in this community. But for the most part, they're mostly manufactured homes. These homes are situated on the golf course. So this just gives you a little idea of what the manufactured homes look like here in Orange Blossom Gardens. Now Orange Blossom Gardens did spread to Country Club Hills and Silver Lake. Those are two other communities within this manufactured home community, but Orange Blossom Gardens was the original. Okay, and then as we go through this neighborhood, it takes us right out again to the Paradise Recreation Center area. And we'll see some guys out there playing some softball. One of the favorite pastimes here in the Villages. Alright, so let's go across the street. Okay folks, so here we have one of the crown jewels of the Villages. The Villages Regional Hospital. This was a dream of Harold Schwartz, the original developer, and Gary Morris, his son, made that dream come true. So now we have a hospital for all the residents of the Villages, as well as a huge medical complex behind the hospital. So anything you need as far as health care pretty much is right here in the Villages. Okay, so this is another one of the crown jewels of the Villages. This is Spanish Springs Town Square. This is the original square where Gary Morris built this entertainment complex for the Villages. Now, behind me you see the gazebo. That's where they have nightly entertainment, 365 days a year. And then all around there are restaurants, shops, all kind of entertainment for people in the Villages. I'll give you a little tour of this town square, and then probably in a later video we'll kind of focus more on just the town square. But let me show you around. Over here you're probably wondering what the noise is. That's the original springs for Spanish Springs. That's one of the office complexes of the Villages. And then across the street is a movie theater. Okay? So we're looking down Main Street. And here's where you'll see a lot of shops, restaurants. And again, another view of the entertainment area for the Villages. So now there are 3 of these squares in the Villages. You have Spanish Springs, which is this one. You have Lake Sumter Landing, which is the second one, which is pretty much centered in the Villages. And then Brownwood at the southernmost end. Now here is a little tribute to the founding father, Harold Schwartz, who, like I showed you, originally started Orange Blossom Gardens. But it's his son, Gary Morris, who really was the brainchild for the Villages. As we had touched upon a little bit earlier, I had told you that most people get around by golf cart here in the Villages. And you can see all the different golf carts that are lined up pretty much everywhere you go. And you'll always see golf carts in amongst all the cars. This helps in many ways. Helps cut down on gas costs, insurance costs, even traffic. If it wasn't for these golf carts in the Villages, there'd be a lot more traffic than what there already is. Okay, so now we're going to go through one of the gates here in the Villages. And this is out the back side of Spanish Springs. And this is where it all started, where the manufactured homes turned into site-built homes. These are the original villas, the villa concepts, and again, in a later video, I will go through all the different series of homes that are in the Villages. Okay, so here we are at Lake Sumter Landing, or Market Square as it's called. So this is the second square that was built, and in a second I'm going to show you all around the area. There's restaurants, there's a movie theater, there's shopping, and this is where the entertainment is. Every night, 365 days a year. So there's different music pretty much on different nights. You'll see country music, you'll see a live DJ, you'll see Rocky and the Rollers, which is a top 40 band. And so different squares have different genres of music every night. So you can pretty much find what you're interested in at one of the squares at any given night. So let me give you a look around the square, and then we'll go to Brownwood, which is the third square, and we'll look around there. So different restaurants, that's Red Sauce, different shops. The movie theater is on the other side of that little building right there. So let me take this and show you around a little bit. Okay, so this is Lake Sumter Landing. There's the Old Mill Playhouse, which is the movie theater. You have a restaurant on this corner, a restaurant on that corner. And different shops. There's your golf carts like we saw over at Spanish Springs. Okay, so this is a little snippet of what Lake Sumter Landing looks like. And now we'll head over to Brownwood, which is the third square. And we'll give you an idea of what that square looks like. Okay, this is one of the recreation centers located in the villages. I just wanted to give you an idea of what the outside of one looked like. We're going to do a whole series of videos, and one of them is going to be just on recreation. So we're not going to go into depth about this one particular recreation center or all the things that are involved. We will go ahead and reserve that for when we do our video for recreation. But I just did want to give you a little overall idea of just what one of them looks like. Down there you see some folks doing lawn bowling or maybe playing bocce ball. Over here we have pickleball. Again, you see all the golf carts. And if you don't know what pickleball is, we'll give you a sneak preview of a pickleball game. And you can see all the people waiting to play. So it's very popular here in the villages. Okay, so onward to Brownwood. We'll wrap up this video. But before we do wrap up this video, let me go ahead and give you a little idea of what the newer homes look like. These are some of the newer homes in the villages. This particular series of homes are called designer homes. And if you were wondering what the streets of the villages look like, I'll give you an idea. Everything is very well maintained and manicured. You'll see your golf cart path off to the side there for the golf carts to keep them out of harm's way. Also, as you can see, people on bicycles love to use the golf cart paths. So this is just what a typical street in the villages looks like. This is called Buena Vista Boulevard, and this is taking us to Brownwood. It actually runs from 42, where we originally started this video, all the way to 44, which is where we're going to end this video. And it's 13.4 miles from where we started to where we're going to end up. So our next stop, Brownwood, and we will see you there. This is Eisenhower Rec Center, another one of the recreation centers. And as you've seen in this video, a lot of activity, bicycle riding. This is an active adult community, as they like to call it. not so much a retirement community. Okay, so here we're coming up on Brownwood. And let's go downtown. Okay, folks, so there we have it. This is the last of the squares. This is Brownwood. Right behind me is where they have all the entertainment. And they have the bands and the DJs. They do have stadium style seating in this recreation center. And so let me give you a little look around. Thank you for looking at this video. I appreciate it. You may wonder what qualifies me to make this video. I just want to give a little plug to myself. I am a realtor here in the Villages. Been here for 15 years. I worked for the sales office for the Villages for 9 of those 15 years. 6 years I've been working in the MLS world. So if you have any questions about this video or anything about the Villages, give me a call. My telephone number is 352-454-9561. I'd be more than happy to talk with you about anything about the Villages. Again, I'll give you a little tour around, and then thank you so much for looking. Thanks again.